always said a healthy body gives you a healthy mind. So I, for one, applaud the fact that the toe cutters have launched a Get Fit campaign. But you can always hit a hurdle no matter how hard you try. Take the case of the senior IID officer who stopped off at the gym on his way home last night. Now, the poor chap couldn't be expected to stuff his service gun down the front of his lycra tights, so he left it in the glove box of his car. Imagine his embarrassment when he returned to the vehicle to find that he was a victim of crime and the gun had been knocked off. Now, it wasn't that long ago that another copper lost his gun in similar circumstances and he was put through the ringer. So I wonder what lays in store for our fitness fanatic from the toe cutter. A message from the shadow. Keep jogging, fellas.
So, senior member of the CLB, you reckon?
Shadow's father-in-law, yeah, he used to be. Hush, hush, though, no one's supposed to know.
Right.
She was... Good crew, was it?
Not his year. Yeah, it took a while to work out, but a good bunch of blokes, yeah.
That's how I'm not glad to be out of it. Getting too old for all that cut and thrust.
What? And fraud? Come on, calculator running red hot, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, the real plus working at a bank. Cheap home loans, nice little unit at Mooney Ponds.
Mate, you're getting soft.
Maybe. Saw Dave out the other day. Says he's got a vacancy coming up soon at Robbers. Could try and pull some strings with that mate of yours, see if he can get you in. When the shit hits the fan, doesn't care who it sticks to, Russell. Oh, you would get out of sight. I guess he's been down the bank and checking out accounts. Bloke in your crew's got 20,000 unexplained for, and they've got him fitted.
Oh, it's boring old Clay.
What did you expect? Japanese Raikou?
Very droll.
Got that list of stolen jewellery you're after.
They train you blokes in the ritual formalities.
Morning, Mr. Cochrane.
Yeah, dying out politeness like letter writing. You know, when they have to advertise for people to write letters, you know the world's come to a sorry state. Don't touch anything. Any chance of getting a pair of legs? I need somebody to run around the jewellers and get approximate matches and all that stuff. Gold weight estimates, type of gold, carat, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Got the dealer squad onto it.
Oh, you're gunning for promotion.
He has absolutely no influence. He's just a public servant.
Oh, no, I just thought I'd get things going.
Oh, my God, Ian, he thinks.
So, is it possible to tell if this is the gold from the jewellery?
Well, where's your weight estimate on the final tally?
2.8 kilos, plus or minus.
Okay. Well, bar weighs 2.2, so it's in the vicinity, so maybe. Who knows? Whoever made it would have failed ashtrays and pottery
My
class.
God,
It just
have a look at
slapped some
this.
clay butter together.
You know how you always say very little forensic evidence is as good as a fingerprint? Well, I've got one.
That's unlikely. The solvent would have...
Not that kind of print. It's in the gold. It's been cast.
What do you mean it's not identifiable?
Mate, look.
Oh, mate, yeah, but surely there's enough there to give us some idea of it.
Digit the bloody clay there.
No one's that bloody stupid fluff.
It's all a bloody metric, mate.
I've heard that.
How else do you explain it?
If
You've
his
got a
print
right
wasn't in the
index
clay
there.
mould, how else did it get in the gold bar? Of course it was in the clay
No,
mould.
it could have been
All right.
anyone. It could have been Joe like
Okay, thank you.
But anyway, you made the blood.
Prince reckon it's not identifiable.
All that means is they know who it is, but they won't go to court on it. Who'd you speak to?
Oh, some bloke named McKell.
Here's Doig there. A bunch of pocket hitlers, mate. Here, g'day. Listen, that print that McKell was looking up for Grumpy. Look, I need a favour. Yeah, look, it was on a bar in a safe house. Yeah, I know it's not identifiable, mate, but it's all we got. No. I don't want to go to court on it. It's just a starting point. You got a name? Great. Stanley Brian Cutler, 31238. Anyone know him?
Who?
Stanley Brian Cutler.
Is he dead yet?
Oh, you do know him?
Yeah, he's a shorter Oxford dictionary on legs, real Silvertongue. That shitbag someone sold him in court once. You reckon the prince is?
Well, it's not enough to go to court on, but...
Stan Cutler's doing egg burgers like I could be in Cleo. This bloke passes dodgy checks for a living.
Passes dodgy gold too, looks like one.
Gold is way out of his league.
Far be it for me to say you're wasting your time. Going to have to take a look inside. If it's non-homogeneous, it hasn't been melted down properly. What's the bet you're going to have to slice it up sooner or later?
Yeah, well, melting down was crude, so who knows? There might actually be something identifiable fused inside somewhere.
Maybe.
What's the melting tip of gold, 1,000 and something?
Give or take. You're looking at domestic sources.
Oxy gear.
Pottery kiln.
Not this size.
Wrought iron manufacturers. They use blast furnaces.
Is that our bloke's docket?
Yeah, reads like War and Peace, only the plot's a bit repetitive.
Couldn't do me a photocopy, could you, mate? Oh, does anybody ever check that in tray? Obviously not.
So basically, you want me to give you permission to destroy the evidence?
Just to drill a few holes.
Which basically means destroy it. Now look, I've got to have something I can, show court at the end of the
Stanley
day.
Bryan,
The drill
Cutler,
holes in the
32nd, 38, since November the 5th, 91. You still got him there? Okay, so what date was he paroled on? 25th? Right, haven't got the name of his parole officer, have you? No, what about an address on release? 16. Good on you, mate. Thanks.
Grumpy, mate. What's gold worth an ounce these days?
The bar's worth about $37,000, if that's what you're after. No problem.
Careful when you pull out the big diamond tip, darling. All the filing's got to be accounted for, you know.
Party boober.
There you go, Doc. Thanks.
Known associates too. You are a good boy, Grumpy.
Mate, I reckon you're a born copper. Nobody's trained that bad.
Can't you take a compliment, mate? 15 counts of deception.
Okay, he was out, he got 18 months, so you take off the 2 months he did in remand, make it 10 months all up, it means he would have been out about 5 months ago. It was pretty well what he was. Yeah, g'day. Howie, Senior Detective Major Crime. Look, I've just been on to Ballarat and they said that you blokes might be able to help me
Anyone
out.
read today's arrest sheets? What? You looking for Stanley Bryan Cutler by any chance? Well, he's been decorating airspace in remand all day. And if you boys did what you were supposed to do and read these things, might save yourself an awful lot of heartache. Do I hear a thank you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me. We got the bastard.
Good. I've got a score to settle with Stan Company. You mind if I have the pleasure?
Be my guest.
G'day, Stan. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Sergeant, mate. Wasn't expecting you.
Senior Sergeant now. Major Crime Squad.
Is that a fact? Done all right for yourself?
Senior Detective Saunders.
There you go.
Don't think much of your choice of motel, Stan. Still, I suppose it's better than out at the college. You know, I don't reckon you're going to snow these blokes, same way you snowed me.
Legal evil. Terry Miller. Paid him a lot of money over the years. Be stupid if I didn't take his advice. But you're right, Mr. Meek. Something like that you only do once.
Getting to be a habit of yours, isn't it? Getting caught.
Run a bad luck.
Bad luck. More like bad bloody management, mate. You got one of the biggest dockets I've ever seen in my bloody life.
So, what can you tell us about these ag birds on the oldies?
I don't know anything about those. Them's bad news. Read about them in the papers.
Did you read how the pricks flogged the old bloke? He raped his missus in front of him.
That ain't my go, Mr. Saunders.
We can tie you in on the stolen goods. So at this stage, we've got assisting in the disposal of stolen goods, an accessory after the fact.
You'd never try and con a con man, would you, Mr. Meek? I'm caught dealing with you. My life's not worth living.
Listen, mate. You tip in for us, and we'll look after you. You prepared a deal?
I'm prepared to listen, but not many of these walls have got ears. You get me out of here for a day or two and we'll talk. You wouldn't want to catch a bone and miss the carcass, eh, Mr. Meek?
Grumpy?
Thought you'd gone.
I had to go upstairs. So are you going to tell me, or do I have to guess?
What?
Why are you acting like a trot in some dog shit?
All right. I saw Boyd Ryan the other night.
Ex-40?
Yep.
Didn't he go to bank security or something?
Yep. He reckons ISU have been down there and they're going through accounts.
Whose accounts?
Well, it took some checking, mate, but it's yours.
Mate.
You got 20,000 unexplained for that went through your check account 3 years ago.
And what did you reckon I was in on the joke? It's nothing. Right, I can explain that in about 5 seconds. They've stuffed up. So you can tell them where to shove it, okay? Oh, boy tell you for your own good, did he?
Nobody loves a fairy when she's 16. Nobody loves a fairy when she's old. It's the matter of your magic power, but that is not enough. They want that better magic from a young spinner's If you got to the core without it spilling, and your tinsel looks like rust instead of gold. Your fairy days are ending when you want to start a wedding. Nobody loves a fairy when she's old.
Happy birthday, Mumsy.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Oh, you're a bad boy.
Happy birthday, Mumsy.
Something a bit much, was it?
You ready for a drink? Oh, and it's Peter recording glass.
So's Chris.
Why don't you tell me?
Oh, they did. They're not going to bust you. Hey, Chris, do you think Roz is safe? She's got some dope on her.
Oh, my lips are sealed.
Those are the top dealers. You want context? So, how'd you meet this wanker?
Have you got the dips out, Peter?
Oh, no, they're still in the box.
Oh, I'll get it.
I'll leave it to you guys.
Victorian police were involved in 21 shooting incidents last year.
Oh, need you ask?
What's she like?
Oh, another social worker type, I reckon.
You know, this really is a very nice room. It's very good for entertainment.
That's the bloody enough.
There you go.
They don't look too happy.
They had the whole family on the floor, even the kids. It was on TV. They interviewed one of them. They held guns at their heads.
Hey?
If one of the cops
Roz,
hadn't
just
heard them
shut up.
speak,
Guys, please,
they got
come
the
on.
wrong bloody house. They were after Turks.
Yeah, but did they interview any cops? Did they show the cops' side of it? No. The program's biased. Everything they do is anti-cops. Cops are bent.
They weren't saying they were bent. They were saying they were stupid and ill-trained.
Who was saying? Has some scumbag got a hard time from a couple of cops?
I'm not talking crap TV. This is well-researched current affairs. They win awards. I'm sorry, but the more controls there are over police, the better as far as I'm concerned.
Guy, I'd appreciate it if next time you checked your girlfriend's political views before inflicting them on the family.
Chris. Roz. Roz.
Sex must be good. Haven't got much else in common. Couple, how do they? Fraud squad. I could change my handwriting, those blokes would never catch me. One of them even loaned me $20 once. Not like yous blokes. I never talk to old Stan.
Looking for information on the Egbergs. Now, I know you're involved in the property side of it. So give us some information, we'll look after you.
Consider it for me, Mr. Bean.
Well, until I know the extent of your involvement, I can't promise anything, but...
You got bugger all on me, haven't you?
You ought to take a bit of a walk, Mooney. See, this prick likes a bit of bloody pain. What do you reckon, shithead?
Detective Saunders is part of the old school. He likes to find a bloke's weak points.
Fair go, Mr. Bean. I'm a sick man. It isn't just the diabetes. My arteries are shot.
Well, stop beating around the bush. Have you got any information to sell us?
These men are killers, Mr. Bean. You put me on the witness protection program and get me an indemnity and I'll help you.
The Department of Public Prosecutions deals with indemnities. I'll run the program past Masipa, but you somersault me, you bastard. I'll square up with you once and for all.
We only pay on results.
He knows something, all right.
You can sell petrol to a camel. I don't have to remind you the cost of witness protection.
Sir, he's the only lead that we've got. Now, I believe if we get one name from him, it's worthwhile.
If he comes across with something in writing and it checks out, he's got a deal. But only then.
Spoke to the super. We're talking the same language. So, if your information is good enough and you're prepared to jump the witness box, then yeah, we've got a deal.
I never said nothing about giving evidence.
But the only deal we make is with a signed statement. Now, I need a signature for the super and the DPP. That's the only way we deal. You know that. So, it's D-Day. Put up or shut up. Or it's back to remand.
George Antoniadis is the bloke you want.
Convince me.
He was the one who set up the Bergs. He's the one you should be after.
How do you know?
Oh, mate, we're getting into deep water here. Are you positive you can get me protection?
Christ, Stan, you are involved. Now, I don't have enough to charge you with now, or I bloody well would. But it's all or nothing. Right? Anything less, anything smart, I will be waiting at the gates on the day of your release, and you will get a hamburger with the lot.
I've seen George melt down the jewellery.
Where?
Panel shop.
Whereabouts?
Fitzroy somewhere. It was a Friday night. I've been on the piss. I can't remember that much.
Whereabouts? Which pub?
Darby, mate, everything you can get on this bloke, will you? Stanley's just fingered him as a middleman,
All
okay?
right, go.
Blonde? Brunette. Right. Well, let's start going over it again. Start to get a few things down on paper.
Shit! Jesus. Bloody crook, mate. He's still breathing. Somebody get a doctor!
George Antoniadis, top crook. History of Agbergs. He's got experience organising this sort of thing. Fits the bill. He's come up with the goods.
Good. Where's Noddy?
You just run it past me again.
Yes, sir.
Just take him out the back for a cuppa, mate.
Right. What's the story, Doc?
Diabetic turn. I prescribed more insulin.
God, is that all?
If I was you, I wouldn't be quite so blasé. It's a sick man you've got on your hands. Should have been dead years ago, by rights. Classic uncontrolled diabetic. Peripheral neuritis, angina, diabetic retinopathy.
Hey, what's all that mean?
His arteries are shot to buggery. He's got a whopping great ulcer on his leg, and his eyesight's not too hot.
He's a witness, not an offender. All I want is a statement and a signature.
Yeah, well, he's under some pressure. Keep this up and you're up in front of the coroner.
Boss, if we don't look after Stan, maybe the next victim dies.
He hasn't given us anything we can use in evidence.
Stan's all we've got, boss.
The media find out we had someone, then threw him away. They're going to dump it back in our lap.
Just a couple of days in a safe house. Now, if he doesn't tip in, OK, it's back to remand.
They haven't much choice. We'll just make sure he delivers.
$1800, Spidery's mob takeover.
No beer.
It's not a bloody party.
Jeez, it's a joke, mate. I mean, this is a real beaut place. I've got no complaints.
Soggy's got 2 men on the perimeter on an 8-hour rotation. How come we always get the 24-hour shifts? That's what I want to know.
Bunch of wankers, though, Sob, if you ask me.
Yeah? Well, no one's asking you.
All that black suit stuff. I think they're bloody Rambos.
So he's got the training.
It's more of the same as you blokes, isn't it?
You keep it quiet. I'll get you a couple of cans of light. Okay?
Anything you say may be given in evidence, you understand?
Yes.
Do you know Kevin Westbrook?
No.
Have you ever received any money from Kevin Westbrook?
Well, I don't know him. How can I receive money from him? No, I don't know any Kevin Westbrook.
Can you explain to me how a personal cheque in the name of Kevin Westbrook, made out for the sum of $20,000, came to be deposited into your cheque account? Your bank records state that on the day after the deposit was made, the sum of $20,000 was withdrawn by you from this account.
Well, they must have stuffed up. I don't know any Kevin Westbrook.
You deny withdrawing $20,000?
Look, I don't deny anything. Okay, they just must have stuffed up their records.
A trace was made on the Kevin Westbrook account, which was discovered to be registered to a non-existent address.
Well, I know what you're getting at, and I'll tell you right now. If you charge me without double-checking your information, I'll take you and the bank to the cleaners. And you can take that any way you like.
I use the name for cash jobs. Every printer I know does it. I mean, the client saves 25% sales tax and you get your cash up front. Now, let me tell you, that's a bloody bonus in this day and age, yeah. You're lucky to get paid 120 days. That's if you get paid at all. Now, if I didn't do cash jobs, how do you think we'd survive?
So what am I meant to tell him? Well, my father-in-law's running a tax scheme. Why the bloody hell didn't you tell me?
Well, you weren't so picky when I offered it.
Yeah, you're right, but what was I meant to do? What, run a credit check on you?
I just wanted you to have the house nice, you know.
I know.
Give me a couple of days.
To do what?
I'll speak to the accountant. See what he says.
I'll get them. Now, you's all right to keep an eye on things.
I didn't think diabetics were supposed to drink.
What's the diet's the problem? Keep off the refined sugars. I can do a good steak every now and again.
Just run up a tab. We'll pay when we leave.
Much appreciated, boys.
I don't like this. The boss said keep him happy, okay? So we're keeping him happy.
Couple of jugs, mate, and one for my friend.
Oh, no, thanks.
What's your name?
Lucy.
Make that 4 pots. What'll you have, Lucy? Yeah, I'll be my pleasure.
Cardi and Coke?
Cardi and Coke.
So, there's two Indians, right? There's a black feather and a white feather.
And black feather lies and white feather tells the truth?
Yeah. So what's stand then? A black feather or a white bloody feather?
Next question.
God, you're a pain in the ass, Mooney. No wonder your missus pissed off from you. Probably never got a straight answer in 20 years of bloody marriage.
Car approaching main road entrance, light blue Ford. Echo Yankee X-ray 335.
Hit stand out the back.
Look to be male. In position.
Give it a rest. It's Mooney and Puff, my mates. Out!
For house.
Mate, put the bloody gun away with you.
Show him your ID.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. Say hello to Freddie. All right?
Detective Moon and Saunders here, as expected. Stand down.
Stanley!
Stanley! Go, sunshine. There you go.
Arsehole copper giving me a hard time. I tell you, Mr. Moon, he's stressing me out that much.
This is not looking good, guys.
How's it going? Dog poo looks prettier, boss. There's been no trace of this bloody Antonitis either.
I just spoke to PSG. They reckon it's unsafe you go into the house. You want to talk to him, they'll bring him in.
Former cellmates of Stan Cutler.
How far back?
Oh, 15 years or so.
Not only Pentridge.
Oh, I've isolated everyone that's done time for Burks. Do you realise how long this
All right,
took?
mate, don't get bloody touchy. Don't get
I got touchy. Do you think I'd choose to work with you? I'm insensitive, Andrew.
Flanagan, Victor Flanagan. You heard of a Vic Flanagan?
Yeah, one conviction of armed robbery about 15 years ago. Suspect for one other major job. They couldn't prove anything. Seems to be clean the last 10 years or so. I thought maybe Albie Doyle might be worth a try.
If I was to look fraud, this is what I'd be thinking. I'd be thinking you were laundering. That you set up a false account to take care of money received from bribes or whatever, and that you use that account to clean the money up. You write a personal cheque from it so it looks rigid when you're paid into a genuine account. It's easy. Who put eyes you on it, mate? That's what I want to know.
Only could have been anyone. If they think someone's on the take, they're going to check it out. That's their job. I really don't think that they expected to find anything. It's just the fact that it was in there for 24 hours makes it look a bit smelly.
Oh. Why'd you take it out all in one lump sum?
Look, I got a 10% discount from the builder if I paid him one hit. That's it.
Me?
Why, are you thinking about renovating?
Me? No, I'd need a house first. Listen, mate, if I was you, I wouldn't let that father-in-law of yours hang back too long. If he takes too long to front, it looks like a setup.
Right. Thanks.
I just think there's some sort of elite, all that black tie stuff they go on about.
Friday the 13th lunches.
The way they could barge into a safe house like that, they could have been followed or anything. Cowboys. Come on, I'll get them. Easy for you to keep an eye on me this way. Another joke, mate.
G'day.
Oh, yeah.
Who the hell's the girl?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, mate.
Who the hell's the girl, Stan?
Lucy. Didn't I tell you about it? She's me de facto's niece. Top sort. Real big kid. Break my heart, I couldn't have kids. Diabetes, you know. That's what turned me, I reckon. If I'd have had kids. You got kids?
We found a tiny fragment of diamond and a stainless steel pin from an earring. That's been it so far.
Well, Stan mentioned a panel shop. He reckons that's where they did the meltdown.
Makes sense.
Is there anything that you guys can give me to give me a fix on the place? If I know where it was, I can run prints through, then I can tie Stan in.
This desperation is very unbecoming.
We found a range of different gold alloys. Everything from 9 to 22 carat. Red, white, yellow, gold. So we know it was an uneven meltdown.
What's an uneven meltdown?
No, it melted and set at different rates, which means that it was unevenly heated. They probably used a single heat source. Oxyacetylene torch, maybe.
Take a look at this. These are iron impurities that adhered to the outside of the gold bar. My guess is it wasn't a professional furnace. Something with a flaky surface, maybe an inch thick pot, probably rusty.
It looks to me like what they've done is dump all the jewellery in a big pot and then blast the shite out of it with a blowtorch.
Guys, do you know how many panel shops have got oxy gear?
Oh, what can I tell you? I'm here to advise. The rest is up to you.
Yeah, well, if the Earth moves, can you tell me?
Look, Peter, when you find the place, let us know. From the shape of the bar, I'd say the mould was full to the brim. So 10 to 1, there'll be a speck or two of gold on the floor.
Handover complete, stand down.
You can come out now, Stan. It's all right, mate.
There's been no word on George Antoniadis.
What did I tell you? He's gone to ground, like I said.
Oh, cut the crap. There's been nothing, not even a whisper.
George is a smart operator, Mr. Moon. I tell you, he's gone to ground while he's done the job so people don't know what he's up to. I wouldn't lie to you, honest, not after what you've done for me. You're my mate.
I'm not your fucking mate. Now, you snowed me once, but you won't do it again and live to tell the tale. Any more of this shit and you are straight back to remand. And I will personally pass the word that you spilled your guts about the Agbergs. An overdose of insulin to a diabetic's an untraceable death. You know what I'm saying, Stan? You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you, Mr. Man.
I'm not mucking about, Stan. You've had your couple of days off. Now, you know this prick. You know what Rocky hides.
Oh, I don't know that.
All right, I'll put it another way. If you were in his shoes, where would you go?
I saw Brownie the other day.
Brownie. Oh, right.
From Robbers. He's got his private agency inquiry licence. He's working for regional security.
Ah.
Says it's pretty good. Bit tedious, though.
Are you trying to say something?
No, I just thought it was interesting, that's all.
Yeah.
How we doing? Is he doing any good?
Well, mate, Mooney just spat the old dummy. Very bloody educational, that was.
Did Cutler mention drugs or importation?
No, nothing like that, mate. Well, not yet, anyway.
Oh, but...
Grumpy, about bloody time. Hey, Grumpy, how go you on George Antoniadis?
I go not too bloody good, mate. I go to Airlines and Customs next. That's how I go. How go you?
Well, it hasn't made a call in 2 months. Telecom disconnected him a week ago.
The little shitpot's done a runner.
Who's that?
Your witness.
Stan?
Crew looking after him went to his bedroom this morning. Found he'd hit the toe.
When's this?
They don't know.
I'll get onto his
Check him
contacts.
every bloody hour. He complained them coming in and out disturbed his sleep.
Sleeping Beauty.
That's the only lead we had. You don't do deals with shitpots like that. You don't deal with shitpots and druggies.
You tell me, what should we be doing? Find Moon.
Well, get on your bikes.
Negligently permitting a prisoner to escape. They're in deep, deep shit.
Well, the insulin's still here, mate.
I'll get on the darbs. Get to do a ring around of the chemist.
Chemist
in the
shops,
area.
yep, got it.
Whose beer? I said, whose bloody beer, Constable?
It's not ours, it's Stan's.
And you let him drink it.
So I don't care who stuffed up.
Nobody stuffed up. Standard procedure was followed.
All I'm trying to do is find out what happened.
Well, he had outside help. That's what happened.
You got evidence of that?
Too, eh?
Jesus. Any ideas for alternative career plans?
The old boss is looking a bit dark, isn't he?
He's got what you'd call a naturally swarthy complexion.
Mate, you want me to whack a bit of a good word in for you? What do you reckon? See, if we don't have much, mate, there's not a whole lot we can do, you know what I mean?
Okay. Let's start with his de facto's niece.
Who the bloody hell's she?
Well, he said you knew about it.
I bet he bloody did. Jesus. It shows his dump anyway.
On the house. He might
Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, there's no sign of the lock being forced. Must have had a key.
Apparently there never was a key.
Hey?
Well, the old mate Johnny boy there reckons they just left the thing on a snib. It's bloody brilliant guy as well.
Not hurt, is he?
Hurt? No.
He came by last night, about 10. Said his car had broken down up the road, so I gave him a lift into town. Said he'd ring a taxi, but there wasn't much on, so... There hasn't been an accident, has there?
Did he say which way he was headed?
I wouldn't know. When I left, he was drinking at the pub.
Said he was running a clinic for stressed-out businessmen.
For what?
Stressed-out businessmen. Look, what is all this about? Is Brian in some kind of trouble?
Brian.
Yeah.
Tell me, did Brian approach you last night?
No, I just came in to pick up his checkbook like he said he would.
The checkbook.
Yeah, he said he'd run out, so I got the bank to order him a new one.
A new checkbook.
Yeah.
You didn't think this was a strange request after knowing him for such a short time?
No, he said he had a lot of trouble getting away from the clinic.
You're not his niece, are you?
Hey?
Yes, anyone who's been after insulin, got a prescription filled out? No, I'm only after one you served today. Yeah, that's right. Oh, he's just a regular, is he? Oh, never mind, thanks anyway. Any luck on aliases yet?
Antoniadis. Antoniadis. And Antoniadis is all right.
In charge of prescriptions, please. Not just aliases, you know, any name that sounds familiar,
He's
like
there.
wife,
Pete,
husband,
Pete.
dog, anything.
I don't care, mate. I don't care. Look, do whatever you've got to do, all right? I want you to hold him there, search all of his bags, spray him for bloody foot and mouth. Just keep him. George Antoniadis is at the airport.
Let's go.
He'll be there in half an hour. He just flew in from Bangkok. You reckon it could be drug importation?
Well, let's hope so. I'm only interested in someone who's been actually in today to fill out a prescription.
Yeah, came by a few hours ago. Offered 500 to anyone to drive him up north.
Up north.
Checkbook in the car. We might as well bloody go home.
You ever read Norman Vincent Peale?
Huh?
Power of Positive Thinking.
Oh.
So what, Nagamba, you reckon?
Well,
long as she's got a bloody pup. Shit. Jeez, I love bloody nature.
You big wuss.
Can't handle him, mate.
He's a big bugger.
First stakeout I was lying flat in my gut and a bloody big goanna crawls over me. Can't handle reptiles.
Eh?
Hey! Hang on. Hang on, Moon.
I told you I was out of the country. I was in Thailand.
3 months? What were you doing there for 3 months?
None of your bloody business. Where's my big?
The minute your lawyer arrives, you will be informed.
You've infringed my civil liberties. You have no right to arrest me.
We don't have civil liberties in Australia. We have constitutional rights. Now, have we infringed this man's constitutional rights, Senior Detective?
Not to my knowledge, sir, no. I believe our actions are fully covered by Section 459 of the Victorian Crimes Act. A member of the police force may at any time, without warrant, apprehend any person he believes on reasonable grounds has committed an indictable offence.
He's a bit of a stickler for fine detail. Darbs, can you get out of Mooney? Tell him that shithead that they're chasing around the countryside's been lying to him? It's not George Antoniadis.
Well, if it helps make your day, I've just been talking to Customs. They have no record whatsoever of Antoniadis ever leaving the country.
And then we picked him up in the airport.
Yeah, well, he must have left on a false passport.
Oh, well, at least we've got something to stick up the prick's nose. Can you let AFP know?
Yeah, no worries.
What's up? Name is Stan Cutler's lawyer, you remember it?
Yeah, Miller something. Terence Miller?
Yep, you beauty. You couldn't give me a description of this bloke, could you? Uh-huh. Yep, brown corduroy jacket.
Passed through Wodonga about an hour ago using his bloody lawyer's name now.
Senior Sergeant Moon again. Could you arrange a patch through to Victoria?
No, boss.
Mate, I get my hands on this ferret's going to be justifiable homicide.
Where's Fluff?
Oh, he's inside talking to some betting, mate.
What, not Danny Gorn who does the ring round of a Friday?
Yep, that's the bloke.
Boss, I won 500 off him on one of his tips 14 to 1 and came in a bit. Buy him a drink for us, will you?
Anyone mentions a drink, I'm going to spit in their face. What I'm looking for is a good night's kip.
What happened to PR?
Yeah, look, sorry we haven't seen your bloke, mate. But got the photo, so I'll see anything, let you know.
Yeah, stick around a minute, mate. Mooney. Listen, we got time for a couple of cleansing ales, haven't we, mate? Mate, it's good PR now, come on. Come on, you big wuss.
Okay, Fish. Mr. John Dory, mate.
Fish? G'day, Bill. How you going? Well, here to see Chris, eh? Made me feel like a criminal. He asked me if you'd put me up to it.
What put you up to the story? Hang on. Go on. So what'd you say to him?
I indicated he was an arrogant son of a bitch. Yeah, I was too smart for my own good there. I've got to report it to the taxation department. They should treat you with respect, Peter. There was no respect.
Sorry, Pete, but you better get in here.
Right. I gotta go. Speak to you soon. Thanks.
One Stanley Cutler was apprehended late last night. Grabbed down last night in Guildford. Pissed as a newt. Trained his car next door to a pub, and a cop who lived next door picked him up.
Oh, there's a cop live next door?
There is a guy.
To resume the acquaintance has more to do with his history of priors in New South Wales than it does with a budding friendship. He's jumped bail on them before, so he knows they won't be keen on giving him bail again.
Another day and the old bag of fruit is going to walk on me, boss.
And now, one way or the other, it's not going to make any difference. For more than one reason, we do not want to attract publicity. Protective Security Group already have enough explaining to do. So if word slips out, we'll just end up with a bunch of righteous hotheads demanding public inquiries, which I stress again, we do not want. Besides, it would blow our witnesses' cover for what it's worth. What I'm telling you is, be careful who you talk to and what you say. If you can arrange bail, I'm sure he'll agree to a quick trip across the border.
So how are we going to arrange bail?
Use your mouth. Talk to him.
Any state you're not wanted in?
Tassie, I reckon.
I reckon that's the only honest thing you ever told me.
You'll get us out of here, won't you? If I do me here, I end up in Grafton. It's a hard place.
If I had my way, you'd be smashing rocks in Sing Sing.
There you go, Stan. Leave it off, Flower. Change the skirt for you, mate.
Much appreciated, Fluff. How much do I owe you?
Don't worry about it.
Tell him 1,000. He'll never pay you.
I honour my debt.
Stealing a car, driving under the influence, causing damage to the car and to property. I'm not prepared to grant him bail. Bail refused.
Mate, you have a word with the prosecutor.
Yes, I did, but it's the magistrate's the bloody problem. I can't very well go and explain it to him with the press sitting there. Can you ask him if I can give evidence?
Your Worship, we have a Detective Senior Sergeant Moon from the Victorian Major Crime Squad present who would like to give evidence on behalf of the applicant.
I've already considered the information relating to the application, Sergeant. Unless the detective can add something relevant to the New South Wales charges, I can't see any sense in hearing any additional information that relates to Victorian offences.
Your Honour, the applicant is in possession of information relating to major offences in Victoria.
Any arrangements he makes in relation to Victorian crimes have no bearing on this application. Bail refused.
Your Worship, can I be permitted to make a statement on my own behalf?
You may.
I know there are reporters present, so it'd be wrong for me to say anything other than this is a very vital case, Your Worship. If Your Worship has any worries about me failing to return to New South Wales, then you'd also be aware that this could be arranged through the Interstate Prisoners Transfer Act. I know I've done the wrong thing in the past, but I'm a changed man. I want to do all I can to help resolve these horrendous crimes in Victoria. Justice must not only be done, Your Worship, it must be seen to be done.
A shame you didn't join the legal profession instead of wasting your life in crime, Mr. Cutler.
Buy us both a drink, eh?
Get in the car.
Well, you're not short of a bit of dash, mate. I'll give you that.
How we doing?
Oh, mate. Well, Mooney reckons he knows something. I reckon he's pissing against the wind, if you ask me. Hey, Grant. Grant, do us a favour, will you, mate? Top drawer, yellow file. Need it for the interview room. Got me hands full. What's with a big nibble?
Yellow one.
Yellow, mate, yeah.
That it?
Good on you.
How's it going with our friend, all right?
Oh, you know, mate. Slowly, bloody slowly. Bloody funny. It bloody bit me.
Where's Saunders?
He's been detained. So, this is the infamous Stan Cutler. The one who's been giving me so much trouble. Do you realise how much time we've wasted chasing you? Do you realise what that cost us? I've got one old lady raped and her husband, well, he topped himself because of what those bastards did to her. And the other oldies, well, they were just bashed senseless, then robbed. And we've been wasting our time chasing around the bloody countryside after you. Well, this is my case. And I don't give a rat's ass what happens to you. If some clown at Pentridge wants to kick your head in, well, good luck to him.
Could you at least see about Beechworth? Prison farm there's okay this time of year.
Mate, you are back in stir.
Mr. Moon?
Come on, Stan.
I didn't do nothing, Mr. Moon. All I did was go and get this bloke some clay he was wanting. You know, the sort of stuff kids use in art class at school. Well, he told me where to get it and said for me to meet him at this panel shop where he keeps his car. One of them flash Harry numbers, you know. Or Cadillac he was doing up. Shop was shut, because it was a Saturday. Must have had keys, I suppose. Anyway, I saw him make this mould. Well, I guess I knew what it was for. I mean, I'd done a bit with fine metals in my time, so I've got a certain expertise. I said to him he was doing a bodgy job. I showed him how he should water it down more, get the joints better. Got to do a job proper, well, I reckon. He went right off, told me to mind my own fucking business. That's all I saw. Honest.
What's his name?
Flanagan. Victor Flanagan.
You'd be willing to sign a statement to that effect?
He finds out I've lagged my life ain't worth shit. He's got that many connections.
I want that statement, Stan.
Map 67J2.
Got that, Grumpy? Got that.
Oh, big boy, what a wood.
Does baby hurt, does he?
Up your asses.
Now,
You better watch out, mate. You might
dead
get
set
rabies from that
keen on
shot.
getting some corroboration on this Stan Cutler statement. Obvious reasons. Been in touch with SMVS. They've agreed on a raid for tonight. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise for the owner. He's been had up for dealing in stolen motor vehicle parts before, so we're pretty much okay on that score. Now, the prime objective is to get evidence of the meltdown and to link in Flanagan. Any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to hear Fluff admit that the fraudie got one up on him.
Very bloody funny.
Here he is. Go get him, Docker. Go on, mate.
Jesus,
Grab
I hope you
him.
realise these are protected animals, mate.
You're one of them cops, isn't
There's a
he?
59 Cadillac in here.
Shit, is that on the link, Jim?
What about Goose?
He's gone.
No, boss, ask him anything. He just says piss off, I'm working. He's still beavering away with that hoover of his.
Mate, you're getting the
Right, keep us updated.
hero of the bloody month. Come on.
I know they've got to do what they've got to do, but Bill's right. Look, they've got no respect. I mean, the crooks really have got more recourse than us. Now, who have we got to go to if we've got complaints? What, the ombudsman?
You feel like that? Why stay on them?
Forensic 300.
Because I feel like I'd be letting my mate down if I left.
Noddy. All right, all right.
Come in, come in. Wherever you
Man, it's all right whacking to stop buggerising around, will you?
Go ahead.
this minute. Staring at two of the most
Beautiful specks of gold I've ever seen in my life. I hope the earth moved for you because it moved for me.
Noddy,
Yeah, he does.
that Cadillac belongs to a Victor Flanagan. Does the name ring a bell by any chance?
Boys. When will you coppers ever learn to protect your backs? I know for a fact the Major Crime Squad is on very thin ice at the moment and could sink without trace. There's a secret police report floating about that brands them all as out-of-control cowboys and urges that the squad should be sacked. The word from above is that if they don't pull their heads in soon, then it's nighty-night to the Majors. So I reckon you should rush off and buy some Major Crime Squad tyres and bottles of port, because from what I hear, they'll soon be collector's items. A message from the Shadow.
Excuse me, boss, listen, I think we're ready for the presentation.
Andrew's got something for you.
Listen, mate, I'm sorry, you know, but you were bloody asking for it, I tell you.
You are so bloody tough.
Yeah, of course I'm bloody touching. You bloody pick on me all the time.
Right. Now, just give him the bloody thing, okay?
Grab a hold of that, mate. Numbered and everything, mate.
Well done, mate, you earned it.
Yep.
You're now a fully fledged member of the Major Bloody Crime Squad, mate.
Yay! Yay!